Women cheat when these things happen. Well, in this topic about indicators of a cheating woman, there are several questions that we must ask ourselves so that we get into the deep root of this topic of today. Indicators of a cheating woman. Question number 1. Can a woman cheat when still in love or a relationship? Question number 2. Signs to look for in a cheating woman. So in this topic today, these are the kind of questions that we are going to talk about, and I'm going to let to unearth so elaboratively about the signs that we can check for in a woman who is cheating. Again, we are going to look at what makes these women cheat. So if you find yourself watching this content, maybe at one point your woman cheated on you, or you want to find more on factors that can lead women into infidelity, or you are just being very careful and very vigilant upon seeing each signs. Therefore, you can come into a conclusion. So basically, these are the signs that we are going to look to delve into. So as you are waiting to delve into the very main points, I want you to stay and watch this video up to the end, and consider yourself subscribing to this channel, because the information I'm about to unearth or I'm about to unleash, it's a very vital information, will help you with your generation going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Zach Okoth Ogola. So earlier, at my introductory point, I'd asked you several questions. That can a woman cheat when still in love or in a relationship? Okay, it is debatable. The jury and the judge, it's with you outside over there. So it all trickles down with your take or with the definition of what is called love. On what you describe love, or on what you practice as love, that's what will determine about this question that I have asked you there above. Remember, we have several kinds of loves. So this kind of love, I'm going to explain them, maybe someone or two, to help us going forward to explain the reason why women cheat. Number 1, it could be there is this kind of love that we call the casual love. Generally, it's not a love, or I can call it erotic love, erotism. So with erotic, it's like, it's kind of passionate love. It is kind of a strong feeling love. It's love towards physical appearance. It is love and feelings. Basically, the beholder, if a man wants a lady, he will feel so sensualized. A man will feel so motivated sexually to come for that woman. So it is love based on a man, not on a woman. It's the feeling. The beholder of the feeling really wants to gratify and satisfy his needs. So this kind of love only doesn't last long. If it lasts long, maybe 6 to 8 months. Are we getting together? There is second kind of love that we can call filial. The filial, maybe the love between equals. It could be a mother and a daughter. At that time, the parental or the filial love. So this kind of love, it could be so mutual. So when we elevate it up to suit this conversation therein, it could be the love of an equal. This a love, you show me love, I show you love in equal measures. Then there is agape love. That one, agape love is the love from God. Love without a stake. It's unconditional love. Are we getting together? Then there is this kind call of love. It is not basically love, feeling of a sexual urge. Then the transactional love, you transact. So it only depends what kind of love or your understanding of love and the kind of love that you are practicing. Therefore, you can answer the question above that, can women really cheat when they are still in a relationship? Can they really cheat when still in a relationship? That's why I talked of it is debatable. The judge are you people outside there. You can debate it, then you come with it form. So let us consider all these points to unearth the reason why women cheat, or factors you need to look for in a cheating partner. So I'll also be telling you the signs you should be worrying about when you see them in a cheating partner. I'll do them in a elaborative way. But the indicators, well, let us look at the indicators for a cheating woman. Number one, when they desire sexual variety. So a woman who is sexual deprived, a woman who is denied sex, a woman who is sexually motivated will always go outside to look for it. I'm simply saying that when a woman is not getting enough sexual satisfaction as the way she should, that one is giving her a leeway of moving out of that settlement and marriage to go and seek it elsewhere. So first of all, it's that this woman will be depressed. This woman will change her attitude. This woman at this point of time will be emotionally disturbed. Then at one particular point, you'll find that the woman will withdraw. Simply, she is sexually starved. So in a way, this act itself will make her sexually motivated. She desires more of sexual activity, but she cannot get it with her partner. So this is the factors and indicator that most women normally deviate from their marriage partners. It should not be a ticket, but I'm just sharing with you this kind of knowledge, so that any time a woman is sexually disturbed, sexually and emotionally disturbed, she can automatically look for sex elsewhere. That's why to men, we have to make very sure that our women are sexually satisfied and emotionally upstairs and straight. It's really important. So emotionally starved woman will always seek sexual gratification elsewhere. So these are kind of factors that you should be so very careful. You need to be so vigilant, and you read the mood of your wife, whether she's at the mood she wants sex. You need also to communicate. That's why the healthy communication and effective communication there, it is very important when it comes to partner and love relationship. Number two, when she lacks or loses respect for her primary partner. So when a woman lacks respect, or she ultimately loses respect for her partner, that is the worst scenario. At this point, a woman will withdraw. A woman will be her whole. A woman will be emotionally unavailable. A woman will lose attention, and the woman will seek this attention elsewhere. It could be your friends, it could be anybody on whatever type, because he's just looking for that attention, because the respect is null, the respect has dissipated. So emotionally disconnected woman is a very dangerous woman that can walk out of relationship at any point and seek that gratification elsewhere. So when she loses respect, she's neither in connection with you physically or emotionally. A lady can also decide never to even see anybody sexually, but emotionally, this lady could be having sex. We call it the emotional infidelity. So physical infidelity sometimes there, but emotional infidelity, it's even more dangerous and fatal. That alone, a woman who loses the urge for physical sex, she does it emotionally, and she gets so satisfied. She doesn't want nothing with you because you appear in her life. You cannot do the sexual satisfaction that she so desires. So she will regard you to like her. Unless I mean, that is according to women, how they perceive men in the marriage. Either you might be so responsible doing other things, but this one, if you cannot do it, a woman is even very ready to decamp from that habitat to go and look even a shanty habitat for her ecological niche. Number 3, we have, of course, situational factors. So when I'm talking about the situational factors, maybe you have appeared in this kind of relationship or in this kind of love, and for over time you've been having back and forth. First, your woman has withdrawn. Secondly, your woman is not sexually satisfied. These are the factors that are leading. So, combining all these factors will contribute to what we call the situational factors. So, the situational factors therein that has come with this behavior. Huh? Some women might leave. Some women might fear to leave. So, if you get a woman, most women won't leave. They will rather stay in this relationship, but will look for sexual substitutions elsewhere. Either by looking sexual substitutions elsewhere, which means there's that kind of guilt, they're suffering guilt, which means the perception of people within society, how they will be looked upon. So it's like she stays in your life still, but she looks for sexual substitute elsewhere. Are you there? So guilt of leaving her primary partner will automatically make her cheat with another person for intimacy, emotionally. And again, cheating also is a way of putting her cards very open for anyone. She's just attached with you physically at home, but she's substituting the limitation that you have from a source. That would offer sexual satisfaction with somebody elsewhere. And again, she keeps her cards so open. So should, in case anything happen, she has got several options to explore. So let's jump into warning signs. These are the warning signs of a cheating partner, that if you happen to observe them in your partner, you should be so worried. 1, change in communication. Change in communication can happen sometimes, but if there is sudden change of communication that's so serious that your partner just decided doesn't want to talk to you, she keeps quiet, you text her, she doesn't reply, with defiance, therefore there is a problem. There's a possibility that your wife could be what? Could be cheating elsewhere. So you need to dig in and find out deeper. Deceit. Deceit. A plain lies. Your woman can just decide to deceive you. Just plain lies, even what you can see. Simple. There could be indication. These are warning signs that something is not good somewhere. Something is amiss. You should act. Then change in attitude, where your partner just decides to, with at most one tone disrespect. Your woman disrespects you. Your woman just treats you like a dog. That attitude, even sometimes it can escalate to argument. So these are kind of things that, warning signs that is an indicator that your wife is headed to cheat. Another one, increased interest in physical appearance. So increased interest in physical appearance when your woman is so busy. Now, at the expenses of beautiful cause at home, the woman neglect them, but now we are woman focus. Your partner's focus in his physical appearance. She does herself, her looks, manicure, pedicure. Everything's about herself, her clothes. Are you doing that? Does not really mean that women or ladies should not look good. They should. But if the focus is shifted to only one direction, at the expense of family cause, at the expense of the husband and the partner, therefore, it's a worrying sign that this lady may be headed to cheat, or the lady belongs to a group or a club of ladies that does transactional sex elsewhere, or there is a man sponsoring that kind of activity. That a man says, well, anytime when you avail from our date, you must appear this, and this. So as a man, you should be so worried. So that's also a clear indicator that gives you a warning as a man. There are other shortcoming things that your woman will crave for. Sometimes they won't tell you, but you need also to act at least at one point you provide them with such things. Which means if he doesn't provide and she behaves so, therefore somebody provide it. That alone does not equals or does not justify infidelity within the married couple. So we should be so clear when it comes to that. Another one, an unexplained moment of absence or unexplained moments of unavailability. So let's talk. You wake up in the morning, then your wife prepares a tea, do some calls 1, 2, 3, or 4 there. So no one, you had your time at home all the day. Then all of a sudden your woman just disappears. So when you come to find out that she's not there, you looked everywhere, she's not there, and she has disappeared for 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. You tried calling the phone, not being picked or off completely. Then after 4, 5 hours later, she appears. So when you asked her whereabouts, then she cannot explain. Or it escalates to some argument. Or she just cheats you blatantly. The plain deceit that I was in the toilet. So a toilet 4 hours, and actually by that time, you had even gone to the toilet to confirm there was nobody there. Are you there? They connect. There's a deceit, a plainful lies, and there is unexplained unavailability and absence. And attitude combined. That alone tells you that this woman is ready to explore life elsewhere. Either she had gone to seek sexual gratification elsewhere, plus any other things. It's headed there. So you must be very careful as a man. And the last one is when your woman is so overprotective or using her phone secretly. When she goes to the toilet, she picks her phone, goes with it there. She goes to the bedroom, she goes and bed with the phone. She barely doesn't leave her phone on the table because there's that guilt and fear of you finding out what's happening. So those are the indicators that will always tell you that something is amiss somewhere. You should stand up and get to know what is it. you should examine up and get to know what is it. So with those few remarks, these are the signs that you need to look for in a woman. So as a point of disclaimer that you should not get to know. So these are the things that I've shared with you, not only to go and start setting your partner or your woman into scoreboard because you've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 factors. You need to study, you need to communicate. So, and also to avoid this, let us always to be responsible when it comes to marital affairs. Let us also be responsible when it comes to partnership as when we stay together. So always talk to find out what's wrong with your marriage. Always talk to always find what's the problem so that you solve them amicably, so that it doesn't transgress to an infidel couple or an infidel activity. So another disclaimer, unlike men can get out into a relationship within a flash of a time. Women take time before they make that step to go. That's why most of them, they can stay in a relationship, even at that point, they end up being killed. So toxicity sometimes is very bad in a relationship. So these are the kind of things that can escalate such kind of issue. So that's why it explains why women sometimes they can cheat while they are still in a relationship. Because by that time they are still they want to make a sure move and a sure bet. They are slow but sure. Men always move very fast. So at those few remarks, if you find this video so helpful to you, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button to always subscribe, to always grow as a family. Cheers.